for the third or fourth time tonight.
Okay, so for the, fifth time, I don't even know how many times it's been, welcome to Dear Teen, Episode 7, Honesty. And guys, I have finally got the episode number right. I've been making this joke 5 times because we've had to stop the recording 5 different times. Because something has gone wrong. Anyway, I don't have really a smart joke to say or anything, nothing witty, so why don't you go ahead and take it away, Nan?
Okay, I'll do that. And this is a topic we all could benefit by. And I'd like to ask you to get a piece of paper and a pen. We're going to make a couple of lists. We're going to do a self-inventory, which is, I can't even overemphasize the importance of doing this. This is so important in getting honest with yourself, and that's what we're going to start out with. Dear teen, or dear anyone, honesty. Simple word, Honesty. But do you cringe when you think about that word? Is it something you want to talk about? Do you think, oh no? Well, were your answers yes, no, yes? Many years ago, I was in a 12-step program, and one part of, I think it was a reading that we had, scared the daylights out of me. It was about people who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves about themselves. And I thought about that and thought about that and thought about that. I did not want to be one of those people because they don't change. When we can't be honest with ourselves, we can't change unless God works a miracle.
Okay, so we're going to talk briefly about 2 different types of honesty, being honest with yourself and being honest with others.
And the first one is yourself. Some people think they are never wrong. On the other hand, some people think they are always wrong. It's so important to really know yourself. What are your strengths? But what are your weaknesses? If you don't know your strengths, you're going to be down on yourself a lot. You'll have a hard time succeeding at work or in relationships. Likewise, if you don't know your weaknesses, you'll have a hard time succeeding in work and in relationships because you'll keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Now let's get out that pen and paper. I've already done this, but you need 2 columns, strengths and weaknesses. As we read through some character qualities taken from the 12 steps of adult children, write yours down. Remember to really look at yourself and to be honest. If in doubt about a quality, just write it down and then you can come back later and see if it does apply to you, when you've got a little bit of time to think. Now, it may be easier for you to find your weaknesses than your strengths. It's essential to look at both. When I did my first self-inventory at age 39, and goodness, I wish I'd done it many years before, but I found 27 weaknesses and only about 4 or 5 strengths. That's way unbalanced. I wasn't able to see the good in myself. Have you ever heard the expression, your own worst enemy? Well, Cole, let's look at some character strengths and think about which of these apply to you. Now, this is not a comprehensive list. It's just a lot.
Just some of the more common ones.
Yes.
Okay. So you could be strong emotionally or physically. You could be humorous or sensitive. You could be intelligent, compassionate, or caring. You could be courteous, talented, honest, organized, spontaneous, creative, loving, a good listener, spiritual and trustworthy, wise and discerning, accepting, modest, prompt, kind, hardworking, or a good friend. You should be fair, not selfish, not self-centered, clean, and friendly.
And so I've had lots of people ask me, what's the difference in selfish and self-centered? Well, selfish people tend to want to, I hesitate to use the word hoard, but they want to keep things, they don't want to share. And self-centered people, life is all about them. They don't think about the others that they're with. They think about their needs, mainly. Now, if you don't get these down at first, remember you can look back through this and spend a little bit more time going back over them. I have to do that. You may not have to do that. Okay, Cole, now let's do some weaknesses. Some weaknesses.
Oh, okay. All right. So, here are a few. Again, this is not a comprehensive list. These are just some of the more common ones, and almost just the opposites of the previous list, but still, pay attention. Kindly reminding you. All right. You could be too weak, emotionally or physically. You might have no sense of humor. You might not apply your skills or intellect to problems or anything you're facing currently. You might be uncaring of others, rude, dishonest, too sensitive or insensitive, messy, too structured, controlling. You could hold grudges. You could talk too much and not listen enough. You might not be spiritual, couldn't be trusted. Make foolish choices. You could be judgmental, or you could just not dress as modest as you should. You could be late to events, cruel or mean. You could be lazy, unfair, selfish, self-centered, dirty, unfriendly, a perfectionist, negative, or too fearful.
Yes, lots of things to think about. Well, save your list of your strengths and your weaknesses and try to complete them and save them for some honest reflection. Thank God for your strengths and use them, and then ask Him to help you with the weaknesses that you find. The maker, I always say the maker of earth, sky, sea, and me is the one to turn to for help. And He loves us regardless. He loves us, period.
Okay, now, I don't know if we've said this before. I think we did, but this is going to be a 2-part episode. So we'll be picking this back up next week. We'll be focusing on being honest with others. Mm-hmm. And just keep your lists if you made them, because you're going to need it for next week. Maybe we'll share some of ours. I don't know. Are we?
I will.
I guess I will too then. Glad you could join us. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.